everyone. Welcome to the 420 Smoke Room. Tonight we have Scott here from the Dab King. Hey, Scott, how are you? Scott?
Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. So I just kind of want to welcome you on and tell everybody what you're the founder of the Dab King, and then say the name of the group. It's a long name. Help me out there.
Smoke and Dab Session and Challenges with the World.
Yes. So I kind of want to give everyone a little bit of knowledge first, a little bit in case they don't know who you are. What are both of those about a little bit?
The Dab King started back a while back, actually about 3 years ago. My cousin and I went up the same night that a world record was done for the Guinness World Record, and the guy didn't finish all of his smoke, and there was a lot wasted because he didn't put the carb cap on for the first half of it. But that night we actually matched him and then smoked about 5 grams over, and so the people that were here to witness that, like, our cameras died before either one of us got finished, but we did manage to do it. So we started playing around about it because even the guy that broke the record knows that we could hang with them. So it was just awesome. And they found out that I did dab artwork, and I have a lot of fun doing that. As far as I know, there's only 3 people in America that do the dab artwork, so I like to do that, show off the talents that I have. And because
so what is dab artwork for those of you who aren't familiar with it?
Dab artwork, there's different ways of doing it, but either you could get a dab mat and you could take your reclaim or your regular dabs, whether it's shadow or anything. You want to break it or make it down into almost a solvent form to where you can form it, and then you draw out a picture on your dab mat, and then any picture you want, then you freeze it, and then you can pull the entire picture off and drop it as a dab.
Okay, so the actual dab, like wax itself, is in a picture, and then that's what you're saying is dab art.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
that's awesome.
That's like a mold or I'm not really sure what they're calling it, but I just started doing it. But basically you can take multiple grams of dabs and make it into roses or different 3D or 3-dimensional objects, and it's pretty neat.
That sounds neat. So what is Dab King about?
That's actually what it's about. Is it started off because I had the smoke and dab sessions and challenges with the world, and I've had a lot of people challenge me throughout the years, and for some reason, before my throat got burned up, somebody gave me some bad dabs about a year ago, and it had ethanol still in it, and the flame went through the pipe down my throat on a live. I got blisters on the inside of my throat, and whenever that happened, I've ever since then I coughed pretty bad after my hits. But
well, yeah, that's like traumatizing.
Yeah, but I could still smoke even though I'm coughing, and but people try to challenge me and call me out all the time, and they don't understand. I could sit there and draw up 7 to 10 grams at one time.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'm not getting the high that they're getting,
I've seen you dab, and you're like a soldier with it. I'm not very good at dabbing. I choke out, and my lungs are not ready for that life. No lie. I couldn't even challenge you if I wanted to. I know I would lose. So... yeah.
I started thinking that since they couldn't get me with the dab rigs, because I would even do it to where I'll take a hot dab. I'll do it with it however hot you want, and you can take it cool or whatever where it's not burning you. And people still weren't able to beat me, like doing it however they chose. And then so they started challenging me to the dab pens. And on one of the bigger batteries, I could sit there and blink it 3 times and still be able to keep going. But a lot of the people that challenge me don't understand that I'm one of the only people that I've ever seen that do over 20 push-ups in a challenge.
Okay, well, let's give you a little applause for that, for real. So how did you get involved in the cannabis community? Like, what led you to this?
I actually started way back whenever I was in the 2nd grade, and I didn't know much about it. I just knew that it was going to help me have protection because I was the only white kid in the school that it was down right off the border and everything.
So where are you from? Let's because I'm here in Michigan, really far north of that. So let's tell everyone where it is you are from and what border.
I'm actually from Uvalde, Texas, but I grew up right at Del Rio and Uvalde, and then in San Antonio. And then the other part of my life, I was living, or the other part of my childhood, I was living or by Corpus Christi, Houston, and Galveston.
Okay, never been to any of those, but they all sound awesome.
Yeah, definitely. But growing up, I had to learn how to hustle and everything because my mom worked all the time and she went to school at nighttime. Then, as I got older, everybody my entire life told me weed was bad. I continuously got arrested for it. Couldn't get jobs because I was arrested for it. Was constantly on probation, all kinds of stuff. And then, one day, I went in house with somebody on a big shipment, found out that it was a setup. So I backed out of it, and it ended up that the guy's best friend was head of the DEA. And so they were mad about that, tried to pin stuff on me, couldn't get me with nothing. So I was falsely in prison for 10 months. Then they had to let me go because there was nothing on me at all. And then after that...
Is it legal in your state now?
No, it is still completely illegal, so I moved to Oregon.
Okay.
Oregon, it is completely recreational.
Yes, it is.
And it was so different to me when I first got there. Like, I still felt like I had to hide what I was doing. It was scary because even at that point, I'm sitting there and I could walk in and buy it anywhere. And it was like that the whole way up there through Colorado and all these different places. And over here, just this last year, I got a letter in the mail saying that I owe $3,500 for 2 grams worth of seeds and stems that were pulled out of the floorboard of my car 13 years ago.
What? And they're still asking you for that? Isn't there like a statute of limitation on something like that?
There was, but Texas got rid of all statute of limitation 2 years ago.
Oh. You're talking about Texas. They got them different laws, buddy.
So I came all the way down to Texas to pay the $3,500 that I've already been arrested for 10 times in my life. I've already, all kinds of stuff. My grandparents paid, a lot of money on surcharges.
You went through hell for an eighth of weed.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even weed. It was just stems and seeds. That's all.
What the?
That were in the floorboard.
What the? That they had to collect.
Yeah, they collected it out of the sand and everything. Because I was at the beach, I was smoking out of a plastic $10 bong, and
well, that sounds like so you did get it all taken care of though, and everything was good.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
But it's so wild how they could do that, and they charge you for that. And then I've been into the Texas groves that are ran by the government and the Texas police departments and stuff like that. And I don't understand how they're allowed to have thousands of plants and charge me for seeds and stems that were not, they weren't capable of being grown anymore because of how stumped they were.
Let me rewind that. Look, go back to the Texas grows. How does that work? I'm not familiar with that. And I know a lot of people from Texas, and I've never heard someone talk about that particular part. So school me real quick, and everybody else.
Okay, I shared a couple pictures at one time on my Instagram, and I believe maybe on Facebook. It might have just been on my stories. But inside of the Texas grows, they actually have some really nice plants, but they're not eligible for any of the public. Even for the medical use, you aren't going to get what they're growing.
So what are they growing it for?
I honestly don't really know because and just in one, for example, one that's right outside of Dallas, it is ran by officials, and whenever you go in there, there's probably 10,000 plants maybe on the property. They're all indoor plants. They were all pretty mature whenever I was there, and I took pictures of everything. But they have no plan for this because they're just doing it to learn how to grow it. After that, I don't know if they're throwing it in a furnace. I don't know if they're themselves taking it to.
But I never heard anybody talk about that. That's definitely different. I'm gonna look a little more into what that's about for sure.
Well, it's because another thing that threw me off is that whenever Texas passed the law back in they passed one last July and then one in September or August. And I can't remember the name of the laws. I have them wrote down in a notebook, though.
They passed the TiK one, and then they passed the CBD one with the 3% or more. So, and those were the two things. But the TiK is actually 2% of THC, which is even less than the CBD. And you got to have a special license and this, that, and the third. There was a large controversy with several friends of mine that are from there, like from Canacare Ops group is down there. The Gift of Life is down there. There's the national, there's an agency that they work with too down there. But there's a lot of controversy with it for sure.
Definitely, and it's really bad because they don't understand what it is anyway. Because if you get pulled over here and you even have a gram of dabs, you're getting charged with felony charges. You're getting charged with hallucinogenic. It's going to be like an acid or some kind of charge.
And that's in Oregon?
Huh?
Is that in Oregon or Texas?
No, that's in Texas. And then not only that, but in Texas, they have it right now. A friend of mine just went to prison. She got busted with a half-gram cart on a battery. If you get busted in Texas with the cart, if it's attached to the battery, they weigh the battery and everything. And she got charged with 66 point something grams of marijuana.
File an appeal. I'd be getting a lawyer on that one, honey. But let's go back to original topic. So, what led you into actually smoking cannabis? Do you have any medical issues that it helps you with, or have you ever discovered any benefits from it?
Whenever I first started smoking, I was just smoking because people around me were smoking. I really didn't understand, but I did have a slight autism. They had me on so much ADHD medicines, like Ritalin. I was on antidepressants, sleeping pills, all kinds of stuff, even as a kid. And so my mom noticed once I started smoking weed that I wasn't, like, even if I forgot my pills, I wasn't acting up, And she started being more okay with it, but she didn't want it in front of her, around her, don't rub it in her face. If I do it, like, we live down in the country, it's like, find your own time. Like, there's no reason I should know.
Right, go be a boy and do what boys do and sneak off.
Yeah, so I kind of did my thing, and then whenever I moved to my dad's house by the beach, whenever I was in 7th grade, it wasn't for another year or two until I smoked again, and whenever I did, it was right after my first seizure. And I noticed a big increase, and just not just my body feeling better, but I wasn't having my stutter anymore. Just so much stuff was affected, and then I was able to sleep that night, and that was a big thing for me.
Definitely.
And then Then once I got older than that, I ended up cracking my skull, and I have a seizure disorder now that is controlled by my blood pressure. And so I stay smoking, and I try to take RSOs as I can, stuff like that. But whenever I smoke, instead of just smoking whatever like I used to, I got real into looking up the different kind of terpenes and cannabinoids and learning about the trichomes and the different stages of the grows and try to find out what I could and take in as much knowledge as I could. That way I knew what I was smoking. Then I found out the reason why I was still getting so paranoid and sometimes I was having these other effects that I wasn't liking is because a lot of the Texas weed at that time was moldy. And so whenever I went to Oregon, Colorado, and all these places and got it from the dispensary, it didn't have that mold, so it tasted better, it smelled better, it was fresher, it was just so many
Yeah,
things,
if you're getting bad marijuana, you're going to have an effect. And if you're getting good marijuana, you're going to see an effect.
And so,
For
even
sure.
now, my family, almost everybody uses it in one way or another, even whether it's cream or it's just CBD itself or gummies or whatever. But they all still look at it as it's a bad, horrible drug. It's some sort of dope, and unless they get told by whoever, I don't know who they got to be told by, it's going to be bad.
Well, each is to their own. Everyone's going to have an opinion, some good, some bad. But as long as you know what you're doing for your body and you feel like it's helping, I mean, continue doing what you're doing then, you know?
Really. And then with Smoking Dab Session and Challenges with the World, that one I actually started it originally to show everybody the most enchanting and beautiful smoke sesh spots that I could find in America and then travel the world after that. And during the beginning of the adventures, I got some really good footage and I was about to upload it. Like, we were like days away, and my phone fell into a lake, and then the very next day I almost drowned inside of the same lake.
Oh,
and then I went across America again, saving up video. I went from Seattle, Washington to New York City, and then I was like, well, I'll wait until I get down to Virginia. By the time I made it down there, something had happened and my phone had broke. And so I got another phone. I was like, I'll get the footage from going back around whenever I go back up to Oregon. And so I went from Virginia down to Oklahoma, back to Texas, over to Cali, up to Oregon. And I don't know, about a quarter of the way through my trip, my phone that I had at the time was telling me that the storage was full, and like I kept on having to delete everything. And it's just every piece of equipment that I've had since then has not done what I expected of it, and it got frustrating. But they never have the camera quality or anything like I originally had.
But I did see you have a lot documented, like on your TikTok. You have a lot going on in your different groups and challenge, and like on all your different challenges and stuff. So, where that footage?
I try to upload as much as possible. But sometimes, whenever I don't go live as much, or sometimes, you can notice the side of the videos, my mood's a little bit off and stuff. And it's only because I want to do so much more for the viewers, and I feel like I'm letting people down whenever, because I put myself into situations at times, not necessarily because I smoke, but because I believe people. Like, for example, this guy tricked me, said that he owned this cannabis company, wanted to sign me for my artwork. He made it to where my email showed that I got money put into my bank account, all kinds of stuff. So I drive all the way across the country on my own money. The day I show up at his house, none of the money's there. His whole grow that he's been showing me online is nowhere to be found. And he was telling me basically he is still in these people's company and trying to take their tax title ID. They had an upper and lowercase system, and he wanted to do an all uppercase system. It's like, I don't want no part of this, and I ducked out. I didn't even tell him I was leaving. I just went and left.
Who was that?
I can message you and tell you about it. I don't want to say anything on here just because of whatever, but I will tell you, and you can let whoever you need to know.
Yeah. I've heard
But
of a scam
definitely,
like that, actually. It's really odd that you brought that up. Really. That's why I asked too, as well. Um, but any.
actually, that would be the third person that tried to get me like that, but that was the first one that actually completely tricked me. And then um, two other people were actually a lot closer because that person was in Oregon. And then there was one person in Oklahoma that tried to trick me into coming there thinking I was bringing money and they were planning on robbing me. And then they realized I didn't have money. And I don't know what I really don't know what they thought.
Wow.
The other person, they ended up getting blocked by me on all fronts because I was gonna do them a favor because I had been a follower for a while, and I don't usually do stuff, especially whenever it means taking it places, because of the fact that I try to do everything completely legal. That way, I'm not getting in any trouble at all.
Right, I would
But
hope so.
but I felt this one situation. I really needed to help this person. Like, I don't know what got into me. I was like, okay, I'm gonna help. Well, so I start headed to them. I get about an hour down the road, and I get a message on the thing saying, "Hey, you need to go and look on your Facebook." I was like, "I will in a little bit. I'm driving right now." Blah blah blah. They're like, "No, you really need to go look at it." I got on there. Not only did this person put all of our text messages in between each other on Facebook, but they put on there that I was like, they try to put me way out there. That I was an international plug. That I was this. I was that. I was a gun stealer. I was like, I've never even owned my own gun. Like, you can't even say that. You know what I mean? Like, any picture or video I've ever had holding a gun, it was a family members or somebody because there's shooting ranges all over the place. And it's like people judge and assume what they see off of pictures, and it's like, or to cause problems, and I don't get it. I'm really a peaceful person. I just like to go on my adventures and
Yeah, so let's talk about your adventures. I see some of them online that you've been sharing. I do see, like, it looks like when you're doing your dabs, every time now you're somewhere new. What is that about?
um I try to change it up because well, I constantly move around as it is, but I like to change it up and show what I can, even if it's not very far away. I would try to show different things because it was something I originally promised in the beginning.
Well, I
Um,
really like
I,
it.
I definitely do. I really enjoy going to the mountains because whenever you smoke with your feet hanging off the cliffs and just looking over things, it feels like you're on top of the world and you're just up in the clouds. It's great.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I was looking through them and I was like, these are awesome. Like, I don't live anywhere near where that's actually possible. So, for people that are far away, that is, some really good imaging. Not something we get to see every day over here.
It's actually very upsetting to me because of how many thousands and thousands of pictures have been lost because
Well, let's not focus
whenever
on that. Let's focus on the positive, though.
definitely it's just there was some good footages of um a few places that you can't even get to anymore or monuments that have been destroyed and just different stuff all over the country. And my favorite thing about those experiences was every step of the way, every experience my dog Buddy's been with me on. And like for the whole 4 years, it didn't matter if I was at Mount Rushmore, the Grand Canyon, the Hollywood sign, wherever, he was right there by my side for every bit of it.
That's awesome to have a
As
great companion.
definitely. And it was also weird because I was already terrified because I had just learned I was going to be having seizures more regularly. At the time, I was having a little bit over 200 a day. I mean, not a day, but in a year, I'd have a little bit over 200. And they asked me if I thought about getting a service dog. I was like, well, I have, but right now I'm not really capable of doing all that, you know? And they're like, well, just let us know if you find a dog, we'll go from there. That same exact afternoon, I went into the forest for a walk, and I came across the camp where there was a man torturing some puppies. And he was hammering one of their testicles into a tree.
No. That's, ooh, too. That is
And
not.
so I went up and I took the dogs from the man, and I got them all into homes and stuff. But Buddy was never liked by any of the other ones. He looked different. He was picked on. Even the parents didn't like him. And I found out that he had already been through four homes, and he was just turning a month old. And whenever I got him, his tail would fit on my wrist, and his nose would be at the tip of my finger. That's how small he was.
He was tiny. He was the right.
And he was very lazy. I would try to take him on walks, and in the middle of a walk, he would just lay down. So I had to get him a wagon so that whenever he was ready to stop walking, he could ride. And he was very pampered. He always whined if he didn't have clothes on.
Aw.
Very, very weird for a big dog. I don't know what his deal was. It was always like that. And but he ended up being my best friend. But whenever I found that out, and I had him finally trained to my seizures to where I didn't have to worry about dying by myself. I started noticing that in the time that I was training him, I had been having less seizures. So I was wondering if it was because he was helping keep my stress level down, or because I was keeping properly medicated being an organ. And so I just kept on and kept on. And I came back to Texas, and my friend told me, she goes, whenever you're down there, you get really overstressed. She said, I think you need to come back this way. And before too long, a lot of bad stuff happened down here. I was like, you're right. I took off, and I went to California instead. She didn't like what I was having to be around down there just because of the living situation. So she was like, if you come back up here, my husband and my grandparents said you could stay in the house with us, just pay rent, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, it was all great. And I did that for 7 months. And so that's whenever Ariel and I were doing the show together. And we had a lot more viewers. We were hitting between 60 to 120 people almost every single time that we went on. But we were actually doing it at certain times of the day, so people found out our schedule, and it wasn't so random like it is now.
Okay.
And then also, whenever I was over there, she was able to, because I get real sidetracked on stuff, and I'll start telling you something I won't ever finish because I get sidetracked sometimes.
Yeah. But it seems like you've documented most of your travels across back and forth multiple times on most of your platforms with a lot of good pictures, a lot of good image, a lot of really good content along the journey. Is that pretty much like what has been taking place?
That is what's been taking place, but some of the traveling has been for giveaways themselves. Other ones have been because of people in the group. If they asked me for personal help, or if they were scared at any point, or if something was happening dramatic in their life, I try to go and personally be there for them because they are the ones that are sitting there supporting me. Without the fans, I don't have a platform.
True.
And a lot of people don't realize that it works both ways. If you're not showing me support, then or watching the videos, you're probably not going to win the prizes. and
Yeah,
stuff
so
like that.
yeah,
It
what do you
should.
mean by like win the prizes for people who've never tuned into your channels? What type of prizes do you do, and what type of ways are like how do you enter your prizes and things like that? And let's kind of get into what those are about and like where people can find all of that at.
Um, well, we did find out that you're not supposed to give out the prizes through the groups and everything a while back whenever they were doing all the Facebook rule changes. So
Yeah,
what
Facebook's
we did
one
is a
thing. Ugh.
problem. Yeah, so what we did instead, we talk about the giveaways in my videos at random times. Most of the time we do giveaways for holidays, but if it's something that everybody's doing, we'll try to do something different. Don't ever know exactly what it's going to be, but we try to change it up. Every bit of the prizes, up until the ones that are actually being sent now, have all came personal out of my pocket. I paid for all of them. And they went from being name brand hemp handbags to stickers and pipes. I think we gave away some T-shirts at one time, some Kush hats.
Sounds like some awesome stuff along the way, just randomly for the fans that are actually watching your video. They have to be live, obviously, on your content to, get the info, which is awesome. I mean, it's a great way of interacting with your fans at that present moment.
And a lot of times, the more boring episodes are the ones that I give hints or clues about giveaways. But I don't come out and directly say it sometimes. There are some episodes that I'll give instructions about the giveaway because there will be a bunch of people on the video. And so I'll be like, okay, this window right here, in the next 2 weeks, one of my videos, there's going to be something inside of this window above my head. And that is going to be a clue.
Oh, that is really awesome. It kind of sounds fun. Almost like, you know what? I just smoked a blunt, so it kind of reminds me of Blue's Clues. You know how you follow all the clues and you get to like, or like Dora the Explorer and you work your way like with the map. That's so really awesome.
I've been looking for more ideas. We do take challenges and
what kind of challenges have you done already?
We have personally, or what have we made people do in the group?
A or B. I didn't know you did both. So yeah, school us on what it's about. So anyone who's interested in following you can like learn what it is what they're doing.
Well, first we started off just doing little hot box challenges, push-ups, just the normal stuff that everybody's always doing. Okay. And then we wanted to step it up a little bit. And Joe Hernandez, that runs Smoke Nation Worldwide.
Oh, I love him. I absolutely love him, for real.
Yeah, he was talking to us about nose dabs on a one-on-one conversation. So we all started, us, him, and I think 2 other groups all started doing nose dabs about the same time. So then once we went from nose dabs, then we started having people do handstands, doing pull-ups while doing it. We actually have a guy, I don't know if the video is still uploaded or not because we had got in trouble at one point, but we had somebody that took a hit and then skydived right after taking a hit, but he didn't have permission from the plane to do it, or from the jump school or whoever it was for. So at one point I know that we did get in trouble for that. And we've been trying to plan one with the squirrel suit where Alex and I were going to jump off or something. Other than that, we've had the triple and quadruple bomb challenge where you have to clear a bowl through each one of them back to back.
Sounds like you guys did a lot of awesome things and good content. I'm definitely going to keep looking through because I'm going to see some of these.
So not too long ago, about a month, maybe a month and a half ago, we did take some dabs and smoke, and then the following video, just because I didn't want for the content, I wanted it to be as safe as possible. But my friend Santiago and I, he's from Venezuela, but we took turns skateboarding down a mountain. And we each were smoking a blunt while we were riding down it right after we got done with the smoke session.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that one's a pretty good episode. And then the Reno ones were pretty fun. We were top floor in the hotel at Reno.
Oh, I'm going to go check these out. I was just looking at it before we started at some of your stuff. You have a lot of content. I was like, oh my God, I don't have time to watch it all right now. But I've been watching over the last couple months some stuff. But then I was really looking in the last couple days, and I'm like, okay, definitely.
I can't deny that they're very hit and miss. But I've done everything from closing my eyes and rolling a joint behind my back, and to rolling braided joints, cross joints, just pretty much whatever. I've been trying to get people to tell me what they want to be more interactive, because I've been trying to roll like holiday joints or holiday blunts. And like for Halloween, I didn't know if I should do a bone, a witch hat, a skull. Like I gave all these different ideas, and nobody ever commented on it. So I was like, well, okay, I guess they don't want me to do this one. But,
well, sometimes that happens where we post things and like no one says anything. But you know what? That's when you pick.
I get hit with the bends and stuff so much, and all that stuff, that it constantly tells me my posts are going to be further down on the viewers list.
Yes, I'm in Facebook jail right now. I've got 15 more days. I'm constantly, apparently they don't like me saying 420, which, the name of I have a whole group on there that they let me keep that's called the 420 Smoke Room, but I can't say 420.
Yeah, it's actually found this out because of Just Goody and Zen Smith just did their new song In the Moment, and they just got done doing the music video for it. It was they invited whoever wanted to go be part of it, and it was a lot of fun for everybody that went. But with them, they did that song, and they do reggae music, and there was nothing bad in that song at all, and they got hit for explicit content because of the word weed.
Yep, we were not allowed to say that word either.
Yeah, and it's pretty ridiculous because how much people do get away with, and we're not even doing anything bad.
What about for the states like me, where it's legal? Like, why are we being punished? Like, we should be allowed. It's legal here, so we should be allowed to say it. Now, maybe in states where it's not legal, if you want to punish them a little harder because, like, they're not legal and you're already punishing them, keep on punishing them. But if we're legal, if I can go buy it, why can't I say it?
For sure. Not only that, but I think it's ridiculous how, like, TiK Tok, I have my backup page, that's uploaded now, but I did have another one that had a lot of content. But from the first day I made it until it got deleted, they completely every single thing that I tried to post, they would take down as soon as I posted it, and it was because there was smoke. People kept telling me loopholes, and by the end of it, they told me I was completely banned for life, and that I couldn't even get on with a different account. And the only reason why I was able to was because I had a different phone.
Yep, you have to have a new IP address or a new API.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's sad that because it's not like I was even taking a hit on there. Like one of them, I used the TikTok smoke filter that they have on it over a video of Cheech and Chong saying marijuana in like a singing tone with me on the other side. And all it was the smoke that was in the filter, and they got me for that one too. I was like, all I did was use something that y'all already have up.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair how they're doing it at all, especially with the people that are using the other drugs and stuff on the sites.
Well, That is definitely why I mess with Relevant, because Relevant, who sponsors me, by the way, is not like we can say whatever we want over there. I can say smoke room 420. I can say weed. I can say pot. I can smoke. I can go live. Like they're a new upcoming app, and we have freedom of speech over there full heartedly. And it's pretty it sucks on the other platforms right now because all the way across the map, like you just said, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of these platforms are now implementing this new we're not 420 friendly anymore rule where we used to be. Like, where are we supposed to go? So I actually kind of went to Relevant because Relevant, I can go live, I can do my podcast on, I can link my RSS feeds, I can, and say what I want and not get my crap taken down and don't have to worry about getting flagged. I can play music in the background of my lives if I want, and I don't need to say I don't have copyright written rules or whatever. Like, there's no babysitting in it. They literally don't babysit you.
How they've been able to just every month it seems like they're like, well, here's another 24 rules for you. It's like,
Yeah, we don't have that over here. Like, honestly, and the founder is awesome. He'll hop on my live sometimes and like interact with us. Tonight I actually closed the open mic to where people couldn't, but like whenever it's on, if I'm doing a live, he'll hop on and say hi to you, me, whoever, and interact. And he'll have an edible. He is definitely weed friendly, and he is the owner of the app. So that's kind of. I don't think Mark Zuckerberg has ever hopped on a live and ate an edible. That's for sure. I'm definitely sure on that. I don't think that's ever happened. So, we're like, I definitely suggest anybody who's looking to get out of jail on Facebook or any other platform right now for saying cannabis or weed or marijuana or 420 or pot or dab or whatever new words that they decided to put us in this so-called jail, virtual jail. Like, that's what it is. Definitely check out Relevant. So, but where can people find you at, Scott? What are your links? I have them listed. Later, they'll be attached to the show. But for anyone who wants to find you, where can they find you? Like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Basically all the normal ones. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. On Facebook, the Smoke and Dab Session and Challenges with the World. I have a page and a group. The page is basically there to help people find the group because the group is a private group. And if you don't spell it exactly right with the capitals and everything, it won't pop up.
I did attach 4 or 5 of your groups and pages to the live at the end of all of this as well. For those of you who are interested, I have the exact links, to his, I know for sure his Instagram, Twitter, one of the Facebook groups. I know his TikTok. There was your YouTube as well. I added.
I do have other YouTube channels. What's bad is I have one that I deleted all videos off of it except for one, and I was going to make that my main page. And I had 67,000 views on the one that was uploaded the last time I looked. But I lost my email address, or not the address, but the password. And the phone is the one that I told you fell in the lake. And so they tell me that even though I still have that same photo on my profile and everything, like I'm not allowed to get into that other account because I don't have enough proof it's me.
Okay, maybe later we'll figure out something for that. When we're not off the air, maybe I could help you figure out how to get back in there. But
for sure. I do also have a family-friendly page. I haven't been that active in it recently, but I do have a family-friendly page as well.
I attached the YouTube link that you gave me as well in our message. I attached that.
And then I remember you were asking me at one point what made me want to start the blogs, and that was actually
yes, I want to hear that.
I went a few years trying to I was trying to kind of find myself. I got into a little down spot in my life and everything. It was after I got out of jail on the false charges. I was like, what am I really doing? And whenever I had left, I actually spent the first 2 or 3 years out in the forest. And then after that, I got a vehicle and I started traveling instead of doing it on foot. Because before that, I was just walking the forest. So I'd find somewhere to stay the night and then I'd just keep going. And well, it ended up being a real awakening for me because I was still able to get my herbs, like I was telling you. I was getting RSOs. I was getting things that had never been offered. And I went from 200 seizures down to 12 seizures in a 7-month period.
Oh, yes, RSOs will help seizures for sure. That is like the number one. Like,
definitely. And so I went to start talking to some doctors, tell them I've been off my medicine for this long and I'm not having seizures. I don't think that I need the medicine anymore, but I still like for y'all to see me and make sure that I don't have extra fluids pumping out of the crack, any kind of stuff. Like, I just want to get a checkup pretty much. Well, they went ahead, took my treatment or gave me treatment or whatever, and the lady that was talking to me, she said, I noticed you're still stuttering quite a bit, and that whenever you get, like, whenever somebody approaches you or whenever they start talking to you, you get nervous, you start shaking, all kinds of stuff. She's like, are you still taking your anxiety medicine? Because I used to be addicted to benzos, which is Xanax and Klonopin.
okay.
For a long period of time, I was taking between 20 of them to 100 of them a day, depending on what it was. And I would start off with 20 and I would forget I took them. I would just start taking more. And I was scaring my family. I was scaring people. They were finding me just laid out all over town.
That sounds very scary.
It was a very scary situation. And once I got away from that, and I realized that was the worst withdrawals I ever went through in my life out of anything. And whenever I got away from it, they tried to put me back on. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, I'll smoke a joint if I get upset, or if I can't calm down, I'll smoke something. Well, then,
So marijuana helped you get off of all of that, and now marijuana helped you stay seizure free and benzo medication free and all of that.
To make sure that I smoke more indica than sativa, because sativa will actually increase my anxiety levels depending on the strain. And sativa strains will also cause me to increase on seizures if I get the wrong terpenes.
Okay, I'm glad that you realized that. A lot of people, it takes them a long time to realize the difference from indica, sativa, or a hybrid, and the different terpenes.
That's actually why I started getting into it and learning about the terpenes and cannabinoids, is because I started noticing that different ones were giving me different effects, and so I was like, I wonder why. And so I started learning about those instead of just the strains themselves and the percentages, because everybody before then just told me THC percentage, so it was a lot different. And then I started realizing that it was mainly the pinene and pinolol inside of the plants that were causing me to have an increase of seizures.
Okay.
And so after that, I just walked in, and when I told people, I just want something with no pine. And what's bad is that they would go through and they'd be like, I'm pretty sure this has no pine, and hand me something that has a picture of a Christmas tree on it. It's like,
what? Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
definitely. It did take me about a year to actually learn what I was supposed to actually have.
Well, I'm definitely glad that you did, because now it seems like you got your life under control and you're ready to get back out there and back on your journey and documenting all this fancy things you're doing. I definitely like it all. You definitely got me as a new follower for sure.
Well, I really appreciate it, and I hope to have a lot of new content up on the Facebook itself. I am no longer going to go live on Facebook for a little bit come July 10th. We are going to, on July 10th itself, we are having a 710 festival. We haven't let out the location yet. I do know that we are going to a beach, but I'm not sure if it's going to be California, Florida, somewhere else, but I do know it's going to be at a beach or at some form of water. And I do know that there has been well, I can't even let all those details out, but there's been somebody else besides myself putting money towards that one. But we are going to have giveaways. We're going to have door prizes. We're going to have stuff for people to sit there and sample and smoke. I'm trying to get some vendors involved. We're going to have live music. And we're also going to be doing a contest, me versus Alex, for the Dab King title. It's just a little thing because we've been talking smack ever since I came back, just back and forth about he thinks he can outsmoke me now.
Well, I guess we'll have to see, won't we?
Yeah, so we're just gonna do an ounce, but we're gonna drop an ounce dab a piece. And it's not gonna be at once. We could do it at whatever consistency we want, but whoever can smoke their ounce first wins.
Oh, I could outbeat the both of you, but I'm not going to get involved in that.
I think
I
I'm
am
gonna
a
lose just
major
because
smoker.
I know my throat.
I
I
can't
can't do
I can't
like
dab with you, but I can outsmoke you. That's for sure.
oh come on
Oh yeah, I'm a smoker.
man.
For sure. But you know what? I had so much fun talking with you, Scott. It was a pleasure. I definitely look forward to following you more. And for those of you who don't know about Weed Speak, I'll be on Weed Speak once a month now. And if anybody wants to come on and join me, like you or any other guest, I'm open to bringing on guests as well with me on that platform. Um, I don't know if you know who Wendy is from the Wendy Love Ed show. That is her platform as well, Weed Speak. So anybody who wants to join me and be a guest on her show with me, let me know, reach out or message me. I'm looking for people who want to do that as well. And anybody who wants to join us on the 420 Smoke Room and have a sesh with me live on here like Scott is, just like tonight, and maybe get interviewed about your life or your platform, reach out. And my links will also be at the bottom with Scott's. Check us out. Appreciate you joining us. And until next time, enjoy your night, everybody. Bye, Scott.
Bye. Hope everybody has a dope night.
Me too. Bye.
Bye.